We've seen a lot of roguelike games released on Steam in the last couple of years. The Binding of Isaac, Sword of the Stars The Pit, Don't Starve, Rogue Legacy, and a hell of a lot more. However, the game we're looking at today isn't any of the games that I just mentioned, but it is a roguelike. It is also the most recent addition to my top 10 favorite games of all time. Also, keep in mind that some of the footage you're going to be seeing is played with mods. I'll explain why later on in the video. Without further ado, let's take a look at FTL, Faster Than Light.
FTL has a really simple story. Basically, human supremacist rebels have taken over the galaxy. You control a lone Federation ship holding crucial information that could take down the rebels. Your goal is to get to the Federation base on the other side of the galaxy to deliver said information, while the rebels are constantly chasing you down. Like I said earlier, FTL's story is really simple. However, FTL isn't trying to tell a dramatic story with incredibly deep and complex characters. It's just using the story to set up your objective, and I think that works well here.
FTL's main focus is not its story. Instead, it decides to focus on its outstanding gameplay.
FTL is a strategic roguelike. You control a single Federation ship outfitted with an FTL, short for Faster Than Light, drive, and must travel through different sectors to get to the Federation base. Each sector has a different status, and there are 3 different statuses. Hostile, shown by a red marker, is where you'll encounter more enemies. Civilian, shown by a green marker, is where you'll encounter fewer enemies, but more stores. And Nebula, shown by a purple marker, and the sectors are obviously nebulae. When in a nebula, some of your systems are disabled, such as sensors, and your overall reactor power can be lowered. Speaking of reactor power, that's one of FTL's main gameplay features. You've probably noticed this bar on the left side of the screen by now. That's your ship's reactor power, and right next to it are your functions. Every function takes up reactor power, so if you have low reactor power, choose what functions you want active carefully. Alternatively, you can just upgrade your reactor power to have more of it. You can do that with scrap. As you defeat enemies, you get scrap. You can also get scrap through random events. Every time you upgrade something, it takes more and more scrap to upgrade the next time, so getting reactor power to its highest level will take a lot of scrap. You can also upgrade your ship's doors, which is actually really important. Some enemy ships have teleporters, which can send their crew to your ship to mess everything up. Upgrading your ship's doors will make them harder for enemies to get through, so you can have more time to prepare. Or you can do what I do and use that extra time to drain the oxygen from the room the intruders are currently in, and some of the surrounding rooms. You can also upgrade sensors, which on the first upgrade let you see into the enemy's ship, and on the second upgrade let you see the enemy's power usage. So I've talked about how you can upgrade your ship. Well, you can't have a ship without a crew, and FTL has plenty of different races to make up your crew, and most of them have their own special abilities. First, there are humans. Humans are common and uninteresting. They don't have any special abilities, but they are the cheapest to buy at stores, costing only 40 scrap. Humans are also the only race in the game that have unique male and female sprites, although it's merely cosmetic. Next, there are the Engi. It's unclear if the Engi are partly organic or entirely mechanical, but it's well known that they make exceptional engineers. The Engi have doubled repair speed, making them great for repairing broken systems on the ship. However, their combat damage is halved, so it's best to keep them out of the way of intruders. Engi are slightly more expensive than humans to purchase at stores, costing 50 scrap. Then we have the Mantis. The Mantis' disregard for individual lives led to their evolution as a vicious warrior race. Mantis have a faster movement speed than the basic, making it easy for them to get across the ship. They also do more combat damage. This, combined with their faster movement speed, makes the Mantis great for dealing with intruders. However, their repair speed is only half of the normal speed, making them less effective than the Engi for repairs. However, they are cheaper than the Engi to purchase at stores, costing only 45 scrap. Next, there are the Rockmen. The Rockmen of Vrakos 4 are rarely seen and are known for their fortitude. Rockmen are the most resistant race in the game, being immune to fire and having 150 health as opposed to the normal 100. However, the Rockmen only have half the normal movement speed, which can sometimes be their downfall. Rockmen are more expensive than the Engi at stores, costing 65 scrap. Next are the Zoltan. The Zoltan are close allies of the Engi. Their innate energy is strong enough to power ship systems. The Zoltan are probably my favorite race in the game. Whenever they go into a systems room, the Zoltan provide 1 block of power to that room, which is very useful if you have low reactor power. They do, however, have reduced health at just 70, so it would help to have a few Mantis along with the Zoltan. Zoltan cost the same as the Rockmen at stores. Next are the Slugs. These telepathic slugs were shunned in the Galactic Federation for their constant thievery and manipulation of other sentient beings. For the most part, slugs are pretty generic. Their movement speed is normal, their combat damage is normal, and there aren't really any negatives to the slugs. However, the slugs have one ability. Slugs have telepathy, which allows you to see into every room in your ship, even when your sensors are down. You can also see crew locations on enemy ships, which are represented by red dots. At the beginning of the video, I said that some of the gameplay shown is played with mods. Why the hell would I do that, you may be asking? Well, like I said earlier, FTL's gameplay is outstanding, and in my opinion anyway, mods tend to make FTL's gameplay even better, adding more ships, more weapons, and improving the visuals. Speaking of the visuals, they're pretty good, even without mods. Sure, they're simple, but they work for the game. All the different ships look really nice, and there are some nice little details. Character sprites look nice, and the backgrounds really stand out. FTL's soundtrack is arguably the best part of the game. The soundtrack was composed by Ben Prunty, who also composed the soundtrack for the upcoming game Gravity Ghost, and damn did he do a good job with this soundtrack. I've used the title theme in my videos before, but that isn't the only good track. Every single song in the game sounds amazing, and fit the atmosphere of the game perfectly. Each sector has 2 songs, an exploration song, which plays when you're, well, exploring, and a battle theme that plays during battle. There's also a unique battle theme for each race. The amount of different tracks in the game is just outstanding, and they all sound great. If you have a few bucks left over after buying the game itself, you can head over to Ben Prunty's Bandcamp page to buy the soundtrack.
And that's FTL Faster Than Light. The gameplay is some of the best I've seen in a long time, and everything in the game works together perfectly to create one of the greatest games I've ever played. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with another review.
If you have a few bucks left over after buying the game itself, you can head over to Ben Prunty's Ganpamp